Oh, I have slipped the surly bonds of earth.
And danced the skies on laughter's silvered wings.
Sunward I've climbed, and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds.
And done 100 things you have not dreamed of.
These are the voyages of the starship Erebus. Its 5-year mission: to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no one has gone before.
Big brain.
I'm just going to go ahead and pat myself. But anyway, speaking of patting myself, what an intro that is. Welcome, everyone, to the much-anticipated, somewhat long overdue session, episode, whatever you want to call it, 7 of our Star Trek adventure, Star Trek Erebus game that we're playing together. We have a special guest here today, a longtime member of Dare Wolf Den Gaming. She's been on a couple shows with us, and we're very excited to have her here this evening, afternoon, whatever time zone it is for you, to hang out with us. But this is Adrillian, and she's a rock star. Literally, she's in a band. It's called Keela and the Kicks, and it's kind of like a Euro funk, like jazz rock thing. It's pretty amazing. You should look them up. KeelaandtheKicks.com, and you won't regret it. It's really going to change your life. But anyway, we're going to go around the table, have everyone quickly introduce themselves, remind us who they're playing, and then we're going to have a delightful session intro, an opening log from none other than Shmamalema Ding Dong, Shmandy.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I'm gonna get very ahead of myself, sir. Don't you tell me what to do with my life. You don't know me. But anyway, let's start with Adrillian. We're gonna go to Adrillian, Aaron, Drew, Shmandy, and we're gonna wrap it up with C4A. Take it away.
Hello, I'm Drillian. I'm playing Ensign Keela. This is her short name. I won't say the long one. She's engineering and no brain, so we'll see how it goes.
I'm excited.
That's all right. That's
What species is she?
She's a Zahian, which was the queen. She was a queen on not my character, but there was a queen character on Discovery. Poe.
Okay,
I
yeah.
remember Poe. Same species.
okay.
I like it.
And I'm Aaron. I am playing the Andorian commanding officer of the USS Erebus, Captain Ezra Shruth, becoming a I wouldn't say lover of cold brew coffee, but a liker, a strong like.
Respect it. Respect the coffee, and we'll respect you. True.
I'm Drew. I am playing Lieutenant Commander Flitz. He is the android chief engineer of the Erebus. And he has no strong opinions on coffee because he doesn't eat or drink
Or breathe.
for sustenance or breathe or I mean he can do all of those things if he wants to.
All right, calm down, Drew. You've taken enough time. Okay, Shmandy,
What's
go
a
ahead.
building?
Okay.
I'm Shmandy. I'm playing
Drew.
Phelan, the Klingon chief security officer. Phelan doesn't feel that coffee is strong enough. He usually prefers something along the lines of blood wine.
Oh, all right. That's fair. I respect it. And last and certainly not least, the gal with the Deutschest accent. Take it away.
Questionably, yeah.
It's all right.
I'm C4A, and I am playing the human CMO, Dr. Lisbeth Stern. And she has a very low caffeine tolerance, so only drinks coffee in an emergency and then immediately has an existential crisis.
Very nice. Very nice. And of course, I am Dare Wolf, the Game Master. I play everyone else all the time, constantly. And there's voices in my head screaming. But you know what? I also play the NPCs too. All right, with that being said, we're going to open with a exterior shot of the Erebus. flying through space at impulse. We see as the camera pans across to the bow of the ship, we see the numbers, the insignia. We see the name of the vessel. We zoom around. We see the lights. We see the beautiful blue glow of the nacelles. And as it pans, we see a massive, massive star in the center of a large solar system. And around that star appears to be not a full Dyson sphere, but like 1/6 of one. All right, just wrapped around this star, swirling lights. It almost looks like there might be maybe little ships moving about it. And then there is a beam of energy that flies from the star down along these kind of gateways. All right, these like they look like maybe metal gateways, and it hits this large ocean planet. And when I say large ocean planet, I want you to think like Jupiter size. Like this thing is huge, absolutely massive. And even from where you're at, distant at the edge of the solar system, you can see on the view screen this kind of blue, soft, excuse me, not soft, but like a dark blue hue of likely deep, deep, deep ocean waters. And your initial scans have picked up, again, that it is this massive ocean world with these artificial, excuse me, ooh, that Chinese food's catching up with me, these artificial islands on it. But as we are doing that, we're actually going to go and zoom down, and Schmandy, Lieutenant Phelan, where do you usually do, is this a personal log? Is this an official log? What kind of log is this going to be?
This is he usually records it in his quarters.
Okay.
Today, however, he is recording while making the morning rounds. This is normally something that he would delegate off to his subordinates, but today he's making the rounds himself. He is an unusually high spirits for someone who's usually pretty dour. There is a spring in his step and a song in his heart, and that song probably sounds like something by Sabaton.
To the gates of Erebus, as we make our way to a new galaxy, through the timey lines.
As
Primo Iberius. I'm done. I'm sorry.
As he enters into his officer's log. Officer's log, stardate 49735.38. The Erebus is en route to investigate a new star system, one with an aquatic world with signs of artificial islands. These platforms are far from the only traces of intelligent life in this system, however, as we have also detected a large orbital station drawing power from the star and sending it to this inhabited world. Many of the crew are excited for the potential scientific discoveries we can gain from a people that have learned to harness the power of a star in such a way. Indeed, I find myself more excited for our excursions, though I admit it is for different reasons. The past few days, I have found myself thinking of an offhanded remark from Mr. Chethane, that I had been acting less like a Klingon warrior and more like a Romulan. In my younger, more hot-blooded days, I would have broken his neck for comparing me to those pointy-eared backstabbers. However, as loath as I am to cede anything to that pretentious academic, I must admit he has a point. Since the onset of this mission, I have been dour, irritable towards my subordinates, suspicious to the point of paranoia. My wife often refers to this behavior as my being a sourpuss. I believe, however, that this is a symptom of a deeper issue. The Klingon heart of virtue, the three values that guide the true warrior, first count the virtue of duty. More than simply obeying orders or meeting obligations, duty is glorious cause. It is what separates the true warrior from an armed savage, what allows a warrior to act with intent and with clarity of purpose. Without duty, there is malaise. It is what causes so many of my people to indulge in vainglory and barbarism, lashing out in idiotic displays of bravado. Without duty, we are made lesser. I am made lesser, searching for hostile intent in everyone, ready to do unto others before they do unto us, acting like a Romulan. Because thus far, in my time aboard the Erebus, and indeed within the Federation at large, while I have had orders and obligations, I feel I have lacked duty. Until the Centaurum. I once described our expedition as being hunters in the dark woods, with potential beasts behind every bush. And what a beast we have found. The Centaurum claim responsibility for the doom that came to Ardal's people. The one we spoke to spoke of eradicating lesser species, and did so with the zeal of a fanatic. They are powerful, close-minded, and utterly hostile. I could not imagine a force more antithetical to the Federation if I tried. If the Centaurum have more presence in this galaxy, then more encounters with them are likely, and battle will be inevitable. Against such an enemy there can be no compromise, no common ground. And to prevail against such a powerful foe, we will have to become better than we had thought possible. I now see my duty before me, to ready the Erebus and her crew for the great battle to come. I will not sulk and brood. I will not browbeat or belittle. My duty is to bring out the true warrior in all of my crewmates. And to do that, I must rediscover the true warrior in myself.
May have 2 momentum for that. It was a delightful opening log. Absolutely delightful. Well done. Good job, and I appreciate you. So we are going to open again now as you are walking through the off this music really quick. As you are walking through one of the hallways, and I'd like you to tell me which of the stations are you walking onto the bridge? You're gonna walk into medical. You're gonna walk into science, engineering. Where are you ending your patrol this morning?
I think he would start on a circuit, kind of going aft to bow.
Mm-hmm.
I think he would start probably in engineering, make his way to medical, and finally ending on the bridge.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that definitely makes sense. With that being said, so you are going to be making your way onto the bridge, and as the doors open, you step in and you see the scene that I described before you. We're going to kind of push forward from where you walk in, likely taking your station, and we're going to push forward, and we're going to go down to the first officer and the captain. And the first officer is grinning as he looks over and sees the captain sipping on his cold brew coffee. And the first officer leans over and goes, Captain, did you try the French vanilla or the caramel? Which did you like better?
Well, Commander, those are exceedingly sweet for the Andorian palate.
I know, it's great, isn't it?
It's
like you're not actually drinking coffee. It's wonderful.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, you want to drink coffee.
No, exactly, but it tastes terrible.
Well, not really. No, the cold brew is quite refreshing.
You're doing it wrong, sir.
Right. Well, I mean, this is coffee from Earth. You are human, so therefore
my area of expertise, sir. Yes.
Yes. Well,
yes.
If this
you gotta trust me on this one.
To quote a phrase from your own ancient history.
Don't do that.
If this is wrong,
yes,
I don't want to be right.
And he bursts into laughter and just shakes his head. He's like, "That's bloody. That's fantastic, sir. Absolutely fantastic. Well stated. Well stated.
You know, I sense an opportunity here, Commander." And the captain stands up. And because Matthew is absent today, I'm going to make a narrative declaration that for whatever reason, Mr. Shathane is not at his station, and the captain's going to take the science station.
Ooh, I like it.
Okay. I am a little sad that he's not here because I was looking forward to antagonizing him tonight.
I could really feel that in your log. I could feel the.
It's okay.
I'm a little sad too.
Send it to him directly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just message him. Just a big old double.
Important for your eyes only.
Yeah.
It's just a picture of a butt and the word "you."
It is the letter U.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay, so you're gonna take the science station. So you see the scene before you, and the first officer will look over to science. Science, tell me what we're looking at.
Yeah, I'd like to perform a scan.
Control science, difficulty of 2.
Okay. And does so his scientific focus is subspace theory. Does that come into play here at all, or no? I don't think so, but I just figured I would ask.
No.
Okay.
I have composure. Does that work? No. No, it doesn't.
And I assume the ship's going to be assisting me with the
Absolutely.
sensors and science.
You got it.
If you
Somebody
ask
grab the ship.
nicely.
Pretty please.
Boop, boop. There you go. If you get some momentum. Oh, and someone else, because Matthew usually handles momentum, will have to take care of momentum.
Not it.
I can do it.
Thank you, Captain. Somebody getting the ship.
Yeah. What is it rolling?
Sensor
Sensor
science?
science. Yikes. I'll go ahead and pocket that threat. Thank you very much.
Ooh.
I appreciate you. It's very kind of you. You're good people. Pocket some threat for Dare Wolf. Beautiful. Love to see it. All right. Wonderful. So you make your scan, and what you are picking up is, like I had mentioned, a massive. It's either specifically designed. Here will be the complication. I'll actually give you a complication. You're not sure if the Dyson sphere is complete in its current form or unfinished. That's the confusing part. Is you're not exactly sure why it is only a third covering the star. It's a yellow star, just like the sun, like our own star here, and it's in our solar system, and it's
just a regular main sequence star.
correct. Yeah, and it's only covering about a sixth of it, like with these rings, and it's drawing, I mean, a massive amount of energy and sending it to the planet, and it seems like as you watch this beam of light and energy, it goes to these rings and there's like pulsing, almost like it's like a woom 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 woom, like a pulse down the, like it's like sucking just like larger bits of energy along this consistent stream, and as it hits the planet, it just kind of like dissipates. Like you'd think it might be like boring a hole into the ocean, but it just kind of hits and then just dissipates.
So there's no like receiving station or anything.
No,
like that?
none, which is interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
While we're scanning this, Lieutenant Phelan would like to see if the technology being used here matches the profile of what we saw in the Centaurum temple.
Ooh, I like where your mind's at. Give me a security, control security. Difficulty of reason security, difficulty of 2.
Security, okay. Well, yeah. There's a 1.
You're not sure. It is definitely well beyond any of the technology that you guys have. It probably is, 500 years in the future at least, maybe 1,000. Like it's fancy schmancy stuff, right? The big complication here is that as you are scanning to try and figure out whether or not this is the same kind of technology, fancy schmandy, exactly. Thank you, Drill. Well, this is the same technology as the folks you ran into last time, right? You don't pick up until they are right on top of you about a dozen ships that seem to not necessarily drop out of cloak, but just seem to kind of phase into existence by you. and there is a ship that is right in the bow, and there are another 11 of them that have taken this sort of spherical shape around your vessel. Their shields are up. Their weapons are not charged, though, but their shields are up. So it is defensive, but not necessarily hostile. And the ships themselves they're strange looking. They almost look kind of copperish, this sort of metallic copperish sort of look. And they only look about big enough to have maybe 1 to 2 pilots inside of them. Like, they're a little bit bigger than your standard shuttle, Type 2 shuttle. And they have these sort of red stripings on them. They almost look fish-like. Almost is the best way I could describe them. I'm going to go ahead and show these to you guys, what they look like. And there is there's an incoming hail. The first officer looks over to the captain. Sir?
Open a channel. The captain will stand up and walk to the center.
And as we open a channel, we're going to pivot. I think that's a great moment to pivot. I love doing that shit. It's always fun. And we're going to head all the way down to engineering. We're going to head all the way down to engineering, where the good doctor, C4A, is actually going to be there, Lieutenant Commander Stern, because one of the engineers, you know, that kind of like Voyager style, and they've got the upper platform, tripped and fell and like bumped their head real bad. And she's a little dizzy. She's a little confused. And her name is Keela. All right. And her name is Keela. All right. You're fine, probably. But you tripped, you fell, you dumped a bunch of tools, you smacked your elbow on a console, cracked the screen. Bronson is grumbling to herself about having to fix it. And I'd like to pick up with Lieutenant Commander Stern. You've just arrived. You're checking Keela over for some bumps and scrapes. And take it away. Keela, you tell us how badly you look. Like, how badly were you hurt? You tell me. I want you to take some creative license here.
Good question. So Keela is somewhat notorious for getting injured because she's too emphatic about her job. She was monkey barring on engineering, trying to fix this one screw that was coming undone, and she was over the balcony when she fell. So she hit the railing with her head on the way down, starfish down. So she's probably got a big lump. She hasn't stopped talking though. That's normal, unfortunately. So she's rambling on, like, you know, she doesn't look great, but you know, she's not dead. So cracked elbow, bump on the head.
Okay.
You know, the works.
Bronson over there, like, how did she pass? I don't understand.
Ensign, there are safety protocols put in place for a reason. I'm going to have to mark on your file that you do not follow these, I believe, and he looks around at like the rest of the crew, to be fairly standard safety practices. Please be more careful.
Of course, Lieutenant Commander Fliss. So there was a screw here, and then the pole, the tube, it went up into there, and then it was another one, and then there was a crook, and then that one was loose, so then I had to fix that nut, and then that cord was loose at the elbow, so then I had to go up into there, and then before I knew it, I was over into the middle of engineering, and there was nothing below me except for 2 stories down, and you know, like I had to get the screw, and I was gonna go right back down before I realized I was all the way out there, and you know, I didn't have my safety harness on, or the anti-gravity boots, or the jetpack. Well, you wouldn't put a jetpack in here.
Blitz looks over at the doctor and gives her this strangely helpless look, like, This is not, I can't, I just, please, for the love of everything, please make this stop.
While Keela is doing this long-winded explanation and arms are everywhere, Stern is like dodging around them, trying to check her pupil response and like running a bone knitter over, I guess what you said, a broken elbow. So
She's
fixing that
like
up
this,
and like
keeping
holding
it
it,
still.
and it's getting moved around while she's doing the explaining, and she's just like following along with it.
Oh, doctor, you're here. So, I was doing, there was a screw here, and then there
Yeah.
was a tube here, and
Yeah,
then I was.
I've already heard. Now, sus,
Oh.
let me test
Oh,
your cognitive
okay.
functions. You've been talking enough. I believe you are probably all right.
Oh, that's good because I got a job too. It's my first day here, so like I can't mess it up, and I've already got a demerit for safety protocols. So like I gotta I was on a previous ship. They didn't have safety protocols, but they were like It was actually a test ship, and they were like testing safety protocols.
Lieutenant Bronson
So
slowly slides over next to Flitz, and she just looks at him, and she's like, "You said it's her first day, and she's been here for 3 weeks. She was sent to us by science because she was difficult."
Her?
Yeah, Stern's noted that as well.
Yeah. I think maybe she needs to go to medical, maybe. I don't know out there. She might forever, possibly. No idea.
But
Nope.
Flitz is nodding through this, and then as she gets to like the send her to medical thing, he does that thing where he cocks, like the data thing where he cocks his head and is obviously looking or thinking, then looks over at her and says, or perhaps she just needs a mentor.
And Bronson narrows her eyes at you and just gives you this death stare. Just death stare.
He pauses for like 2 seconds and then gives a Krev laugh and turns around and walks away. Just like a perfect imitation of it, and then turns around and walks away.
Deep guttural growling. And as you turn and walk away, give the Krev laugh, and she turns to look at Ensign Kayla. Ensign Kayla. Ensign Keela. In the corner you see Ensign Kayla. No, I'm just kidding. In the corner.
Different Ensign.
In the corner of the room.
the Mirrorverse.
You look over.
Drink of Ensign
And
Cola.
you see what appears to be a raven-haired woman who is wearing a Starfleet uniform that looks slightly like out of date, like maybe like 20 years ago, right? Like it's a little bit out of date, right? Like everyone on the ship's wearing the nice shoulder ones, like the Picard ones, right? And she's wearing like next gen one, okay? And she smiles at you. She's wearing like the engineering colors, right? And she smiles at you, and there's this weird sensation that you get, like everything's gonna be okay. She's got your back, right? Like everything's gonna be okay. And she just smiles at you, and you think in the brief moment you see her, because you kind of look over, you see her, you look back, maybe your arm hurts for a second, and you look back and she's gone, but you see her, and you hear this like kind of like ringing noise in your ears, like this like kind of noise, and she's gone. She's completely
Your mic
gone.
didn't pick that up.
Like a whoop,
There.
like a whoop kind of noise. Yeah, and you see her, and she's gone. What do you do about that, if anything?
And like back when I was on the Boudica, like there was, oh my gosh, what a time on there. There was a scary commander. She was so scary. And then like I was on the bridge and no one was there and it got real cold. And then this Ensign Zed showed up. Oh my gosh, Ensign Zed, just life goals. And then she just like pauses when she catches this woman in the corner, like kind of does that double take. Do people disappear on this ship normally?
Not normally, no.
I just got here, so or
Yeah,
how did I just get here? How long have I? When
It
did I
has
go through the black hole?
it has been
Wormhole?
3 weeks. It has been 3 weeks,
It's
Ensign.
been 3 weeks.
3 weeks as a member of engineering, you hear from like halfway across the.
I've always been in engineering. Oh, forgive me, that was out of Commander, Sir, Lieutenant. I'm just, you know what? I think I'm okay, but there's a disappearing woman on the ship, so you fixed me already, so it's not my head.
You seem to
Maybe.
be having trouble with the time. Perhaps.
Oh, well,
Perhaps I need
that
to take you down to my sick bay.
time is nothing new. And then she would she would like to do a scan for some disappearing
Ooh,
woman.
you know what? You break out your tricorder. Give me a control science difficulty of 1. What are your focuses?
Ooh, good question. Probably nothing in relation to this.
Okay, good.
Alien energy source technology.
I'll allow it. Hey,
Okay, I
Schmandy?
don't remember how to do this.
Schmandy, Lieutenant Phelan. You happen to be checking the the number of personnel on the ship.
Mhm.
And let's say I think we said there's like what, 1,200 people on the ship? There's a lot, if I remember correctly. There's like a lot of people. It goes up to 1,201 for like 5 seconds, and then it goes
Okay.
down to 1,200 again.
Take one down, pass it around.
Yeah.
Captain, I believe we were temporarily boarded. I suggest we raise shields.
What am I rolling again? Sorry.
Control
Proceed.
science.
I roll 1 dice.
Two.
Sorry, it's been
2.
a while.
No, you're good. Roll 2 dice. You're
2.
good, dude.
And I have a focus, so I put
You do. Ooh, you got it. Hey, so you are picking up a large amount of energy. All right, that is right where that woman was standing. It is like a significant amount of energy. All right, and it is a let's see here. It's the thing that's weird about it is that it's reading like a transporter signal, all right? But there's an invariance in it, okay? So it's not like a standard Starfleet transporter signal. It's heavily modified to where you can't quite understand how she was there and not, because usually there'd be like a blue little flashlight. There was nothing. She was there and she was gone, and you just heard this sound, this like whoop kind of sound. All right.
and then she's like, aha, see, it's not the head. It was, don't you usually get a visual cue with transporters, and usually don't they take like more than 5 seconds, because engineering isn't that easy, and with all the molecules of putting them back together, and this is showing that something was right there and something is still there, the residual from this invariance of this transporter thing.
I pull out my tricorder and do the scan while she's still talking.
You get the same readings.
And people shouldn't just disappear like that, without some. Well, I guess I do have this reading, so then it's not entirely out of realm of possibility. Maybe she's from the future, and maybe they have better technology.
Lieutenant Commander Stern.
But she was like in a different.
Did we go to a yellow
uniform.
alert when the shields went up?
We did.
Okay, so that would have tipped me off. Then never mind.
Flits to bridge. We may have had a brief transporter incident.
That's what I was gonna do too.
All right. Was it localized in your area?
We believe so. Dr. Stern, are you picking up any residual life signs?
You are,
no,
Stern.
am I?
I'm going to give it to you. You are.
Yes, that is affirmative.
It is reading.
Aha.
It is reading like a Romulan lifetime. Hold on. Bum bum ba. Do I still have that sound effect? I can't remember. I had it in one of my games at one point. It was pretty fun. Nope, I don't have it anymore. That's okay.
Anson, report to the captain what you saw.
Captain,
What now?
as the ensign says, what now? Communications are established. We've managed to establish communications, sir. They're live now, audio only.
Unidentified vessels. This is Captain Ezra Shruth of the Federation Starship Enterprise. Not Erebus. We're the Erebus. That's the name of our ship.
I
That's
know
what
we
we say
haven't
in this room.
played in 3 weeks, but calm down.
But it's just like that's the monologue, and
It's fine.
it just loops in your head.
We took over the Enterprise.
Yeah, we have we're the look at me. I'm Picard now.
You are the captain now.
We're on a peaceful mission of exploration and request contact to exchange and learn.
There is a like heavy breathing, kind of like a like mouth breathing, right?
Terrible.
Like for a second, like there's a
Get-
heavy mouth
just-
breathing.
You need to get away from your mic. It's just
Thanks, I hate it.
Whoosh, right? Heavy breathing. And then a voice. Somewhat soft. Like friendly? Kind? This is Cytek Ibunia Ralia of the Numfel Legion. You have entered into our space. You say you are on a mission of exploration. Yet you did not announce yourselves before we came upon you. That seems suspicious at best.
we did not detect the approach of your vessels. It is our procedure to conduct long-range scans first before establishing contact. We were in the process of doing so.
Perhaps to scan this long-range scan to test us for weakness.
Our intentions are not hostile. We merely wish to learn.
And yet, you raise your shields. You prepare yourselves for battle. Again, strange.
Your shields were raised the instant you phased into normal space. We merely followed as a matter of course when confronted by unknown vessels. The procedure is to raise shields, but to leave weapons unarmed. A simple scan will indicate that we have done so.
And there is a moment of mouth breathing again. Just a moment. C4A, you're funny. And then it comes back.
And some neckbeard on the other line. Just actually.
We will establish visual communication with you now. And as they do so, you see a blue-faced alien. All right, and like a light greenish blue. They have eyes in the front, like they're a predator, but they also have herd animal eyes on the side. So they have like 270 vision, right? Like really good vision. They have this kind of like cheek flap that comes up and wraps around the back of their head. And Captain, you are privy to a bit of information. There was a certain vessel that a certain Keela mentioned. All right? There's a certain vessel, a certain Keela mentioned. And they happened to have a run-in with a certain group of aliens on a certain space station known as Kronos Station. The Numfel Legion. Legion. Same species. You actually recognize the species. They were an unknown species in the Milky Way galaxy. All right. And apparently you maybe found their homeworld. We're not sure. We're not sure. Maybe. I don't know. But they were relatively peaceful, all things considered. All right. Except for that one time that a squadron of their ships destroyed some people. All right. Now, with that being said, okay, the ones they met on the space station were friendly, okay? And there's a big warning in the log, and it just says Q. That's all it says. Just says Q. All right? Okay. I'm going to throw that out there. Do the information as you see fit. But they establish visual communication. So you see this sort of light greenish blue alien. This is Cytec Ibuinia Rilia. All right. He, she, they. We're not sure. But they establish, and they're sitting in a cockpit. They've got like kind of like a half helmet on. All right. Right there. And you can see like they're in like you're like it's like a fighter jet, right? And they've got someone behind them, right? And they're doot, 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 doot. And do you establish visual as well? That's my question.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so she's eyeing you. She, they, they're eyeing you with both eyes. Kind of turns the side, looks at you with the side eye, actual side eye, because they got eyes on the side of their head, and looks in ahead of you again, and then does the other side, and says, "You do not seem hostile, though we have been fooled before. How long do you plan to stay within our territory?"
Your space is your space. If you request, we will leave now.
Call goes mute for a second. No mouth breathing, which is good. Call goes mute. Seem to be having a conversation. The number of people on the ship ticks up by 1. Again.
Even with the shields up?
Even with the shields up. The number of people on the ship ticks up by 1. And it stays there now. It stays there. Okay?
Can we hone in on where this extra person is?
You absolutely may. Question to Lieutenant Commander Stern and to Keela. Are you guys heading to medical?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. You guys are walking to medical. As you're walking to medical, a science officer saddles up next to you and starts to make small talk with Keela. And Keela, there's a weird sensation like you ever had that feeling where you feel like you know somebody, but you can't quite place where you met them? It's like that weird sort of like deja vu, I've met you before kind of thing, right? You know what I'm talking about? It's like that. Like you feel like you know her, and she's talking to you, Ensign Keela, like your old friends. Like she walks up, she's like, "Keela, oh my God, how are you? It has literally been forever. How is engineering treating you? I was so sad when you left science. I mean, engineering is so boring. There's just nuts and bolts, and there's no exploration. There's no scanners. It is super boring. Oh my God, I know. It's so crazy.
I'm not sure what you mean by boring. And first
So
of all,
boring.
I was never in science.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
you were. We were just in science. Yes, you did. You got booped in the. I heard. I saw it. I saw
I'm in
you
the
got
room
hit.
does not mean I'm in that. Nope, I couldn't touch
You
a
did.
vial in.
You
No,
totally did.
dude, it would
You
break under my
absolutely
hands.
did, though.
Now,
You were
metal,
right there.
Metal, though.
You were the
and
metallurgist
screws
in the
and
science
bolts,
with the
like,
meddling.
I could
You were
put
always
those-
meddling
I-
with everything.
I can make a little toy robot out of like a sheet of metal.
Which is science
know?
at its core. I mean, really, if you think about
Well,
it.
I mean, you could argue that anything is science.
Exactly.
If you go by that
That's why
logic.
science is the better of the fields, right?
No, it's just very broad and unspecialized. And, like working with your hands rather than little chemicals and letting like machines
Right.
do the work for you.
Right.
I run the ship.
Right.
I get the ship running.
You
know?
do it. It's
Like,
all you, right?
Yeah.
Good.
Exactly.
I
like
love it.
if I didn't put that screw
Right.
up there and bump my head, the ship would fall apart.
Yeah.
Like that
Karen
one
is
that
grabbing
one
her
screw.
arm and continuing down to sick bay, and she's just like, "Oh my God, there are 2 of them now."
And as the two of them are jibber jabbering and
They're
you grab
multiplying.
her and you start to walk down the hall, the woman who is raven haired looks human, looks completely human, but like generic kind of nondescript person. Like you'd see them and they kind of look like everybody. That's kind of what she looks like. right? And you're walking, and she's walking with Keela, and you get to the doors of medical, and she like reaches over and gently like, like takes like your elbow, like she like does like the little elbow grab. She's like, "Oh my god, friend." She goes, "I like you. I think I'm gonna keep you." And they both disappear in a white flash of light.
I was holding her other arm. Do I just
Disappear in a white flash of light, and you have nothing in your hand. Gone.
Stern to security? Lieutenant Phelan.
This is Phelan.
The extra crew member was just here and
You're
has
down
now
2 crew members.
has now abducted Ensign Keela.
Is the are the aliens still on screen?
They are. They're talking to each other, trying to deliberate what's going on.
Yeah.
And Stern is like,
I will tell the captain. Captain, it appears they have abducted one of our crew.
and I'm like, didn't this just happen? Like, we just had,
We just had someone kidnapped. Why does this keep happening?
yeah, right in front of mine eyes. Mine not organ.
Saitek Abunia. What is the meaning of this?
Honest confusion. And sort of like they don't really have eyebrows, but like their face muscles kind of like frown. Like they're like, what? And like they're like gonna squint. Like, what is the meaning of what?
One of my crew members was just abducted from this ship.
By who?
Wait. That's not in character, but yeah, he'll calm down or he'll ask Lieutenant Phelan. Lieutenant, did we get a description?
Lieutenant Commander Stern, are you still there?
Yes, Lieutenant.
Do you have a description of the abductor?
I am having the computer run facial recognition from this area of the ship.
Doesn't match any known people on board.
Was not one of ours, Captain.
Do we have a visual data? Can you transmit it to the bridge? My station.
Yeah. Are there? Yeah, I'd say. Are there camera logs that we can access?
Absolutely.
Sending them now, Captain.
Captain.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you get the image, you recognize from some logs of this Chronos station, there was mention of someone by the name of Q, specifically the daughter of Q was her name. She apparently ran and owned the station. Chronos station was hers. Okay. And the person you see doesn't quite look the same as her. Like she always kind of took on a Romulan or like maybe like a Vulcan style look, but it looks like a humanoid version of like who she pretended to be. Yeah. So that's a thing.
Should we inform our new acquaintances of this interference, Captain?
I believe so, Lieutenant. Please transmit a visual log of this individual. See if they recognize them.
I've already sent it to your console, Captain.
Thank you. And he'll have Lieutenant Phelan transmit the visual. And yeah, he'll just look at the SciTech. I assume is SciTech her title?
Yeah.
Or their titles, rather,
Yep.
sorry. SciTech, does this person look familiar to you?
They look down at it. Call goes mute. Talk to each other for a second. Call unmutes. Yes, it does.
This is the individual who abducted my crewman.
Captain. Abducted. Taken is the wrong term. Your crew member, as you call them, has simply been chosen.
Oh, Jesus.
Chosen?
Yes.
By whom?
by our god.
No.
That feels like a commercial break.
Now a message from our sponsor.
Son of a
The
bitch.
claw.
Do you like cold brew coffee? Well, try Erebus cold brew beans. They're the
Like having an
coldest,
existential
beaniest.
crisis.
They're the coldiest and the beaniest.
Erebus cold brew. It's the best for me and you. Last time on Star Trek Erebus.
And we return.
Apologize.
They, you mean our god?
Your god. I see. Is there a way to contact your god?
Why, yes. Our god walks among us at all times and in all places.
Sounds sus to me.
Our god is the
I-
reason when our continents, when our lands fell into the ocean and sunk below the blue depths. She is the reason that we survived. It is by her grace that we walk now among the stars and harness their very power for our survival and sustenance.
Well,
And what
With-
does this god ask in return?
Love.
Cytec, is it possible for us to visit your world?
Muted. Conversation. Unmuted. You would be allowed a small diplomatic envoy, but your ship must remain in the outskirts of our system until we can deem that you are truly not a threat.
Would one of our shuttlecraft suffice as a means of conveyance?
It would. You will be escorted to our main island.
Very well. We will make preparations. I will have the ship contact you when we are ready to depart.
Very well. Cytec out. First officer is going to lean in and be like, did you read the same report that I read, sir?
I did.
Is it too late to leave, sir?
We
Bye,
have to get her
Kilo.
One
back.
of our crewmen.
Bye, Kilo.
It's just one crew member, sir. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. It's terrible. I'm a terrible commanding officer.
The first day.
Literally her first day, her words. Like it's bound to
Right.
happen.
Her first day in the how many months since we've been here?
We'll put that screw in her
months,
memory.
Many months.
3?
Yeah. 3 or 4. Yeah. It's been a while.
Well, and he'll tap his comm badge and just say, "Senior officers, please report to the observation lounge."
And as he is gathering the senior officers, we're going to pivot over to it's definitely artificial. All right? Like, you can tell, Keela, that this beach that you're on, like, if you, like, step in the sand, maybe, like, 6 inches below it, there's metal. Like, it's a fake beach. But there's, like, palm trees. There's some like beach chairs, and the beach itself is only maybe about 100 feet long by like 50 feet wide. Like, so wide by long, right? So it's like you're on a beach, but the rest of it's like metallic, and there's like walkways. Think like Coruscant from Star Wars. I'm sorry to cross the streams here, but like literally like City Planet, right? Okay. But there's a little beach, and you were right next to Lieutenant Commander Stern. And now you're on a beach, and you're not wearing your uniform anymore. You're in a nice like swimsuit, nothing too like flashy or showy or anything. But you're in like a nice swimsuit, okay? And you got like a big like wide brimmed like sun hat on. I'm talking like big and floppy, like it's like bleh in your front of your face, and in your right hand is like a frozen crazy pineapple-y drink. And sitting down on the beach, there's two of these long chairs, right? These like beach chairs, and you see black raven hair, similar floppy hat, and a drink in the hand, and they just kind of motion for you to come and then point at the chair next to them.
You know, if I didn't put that screw in, we would just be out of the. Okay. And she just like takes a minute, stomps the ground, can tell there's metal down there, realizes her hat's almost falling off, fumbles with it, almost like falls over, spilling her drink because this hat is so massive. This is an extremely large hat. Does it need to be this big? Well, you know, the sun is blocking it. But that sun's not wait, where is the sun? You know, this isn't real. And you know, you took me from my ship and it was my first day, so you know, I really can't be missing any time. You know, I really need to head back, especially with that demerit. You know, I really need to make up for that. And oh, this pineapple. What drink is this? It's orange. You know, if it's mango, I can't drink it because you know, mango gives me migraines. It actually makes me so sick that I like physically get sick, and you know,
It's pineapple,
excrete my.
dear. Come
Oh,
and
okay.
sit
That's
down. You
that's
are
good.
worrying too much. Oh my god.
Worrying? I am not
Way
worried
too
about
much.
a thing. And she like is silent because she takes a sip for like 30 seconds. Drinks
Snaps
half
her
of it.
finger. You disappear in a flash of white light, and you're now sitting next to her. And you're
Okay, you
still
know,
drinking.
that's a pretty nifty trick. You know, maybe you should teach that to me because you know, I would like never fall in engineering again. Well, I would fall, but then I'd like catch myself and then I would reappear again. And then, you know, like where are we?
Well, we're home, dear. Where do you
No.
think we are?
I left my home a long time ago. You know, my brother left home before me, and apparently he went into Starfleet, but I haven't been able to find him yet. But you know, he left like a real long time ago. And you know, I was like gonna be a singer at one time, but then you know, I like kept going in college. I decided not to drop out, and you know, I ended up not being a singer. But you know, like, have you always lived here? Because this is it's kind of you know, it's a little dreary over there. It's nice right here, but you know, it's only right here, and you know, like it's you can tell it's fake. You know, I know you know this isn't real. Obviously, like you set this up, and she's just like looking around. And she's taking in
She
the
snaps her
construction
finger again,
of this area.
and you lose the ability to talk. You can mouth words, but you can't talk. It's just gone. Like you hear yourself talking, but anyone that's around can't hear anything. And she just nods and listens and
She keeps
smiles,
going,
and
not
you just keep
realizing.
going, and she's like, oh, all right, yeah, sure. And you go on, and you just go on as long as you want, right? But as you are like talking with this person, this raven-haired woman, you kind of look around and you look up and you can see this like beam of light, this energy coming from the sun, right? The star, excuse me. And it hits the atmosphere and it's kind of like dissipating out. And you can kind of see what almost looks like these little like fireflies that kind of like fall down onto the planet. And as you're watching them fall, you start to feel a little queasy, a little ill, as it were. It might be the mango. You're not sure. You don't think there was mango. She said there was pineapple, but maybe it was mango. But you start to feel a little queasy. And you are still babbling on. And one of these Nymphel walks up. A pair of them actually walks up. And the first thing you would notice, Keela, is that they both look frail and very, very, very sickly. Like malnourished, ill, gonna die soon, like maybe have like radiation poisoning kind of style. You're not sure. You're not a doctor. You're barely even an engineer. But you know, it's you're noticing this, and they have a quick conversation with the woman, who very dismissively just kind of brushes them off, and they both nod and then turn and walk away. All right. But as you continue to babble on, she just smiles and nods to you. And we're going to pivot back up now to the observation deck where you guys are having your meeting. Take it away.
And it is a safe bet, if this Q is masquerading as a god, that Ensign Keela will be held on that planet. So we are going to get her back.
Request permission to leave the party, sir. She is one of mine.
Is she, though?
She is.
I appreciate the
She's
offer,
under my command.
Commander, but I'll be leading this away team.
Very well, sir.
All of you will be coming with me.
Understood.
Is there anything that anybody who witnessed the events can tell me that may help?
Whatever this Q did was subtle, not flashy. It just appeared, disappeared. None of us even saw it, only the ensign.
That is not strictly true. The Q.
Well, from the original incident, I'm sorry.
The lieutenant, the ensign seemed to have I'm guessing this is usual for her, a lively conversation with the Q on the way down to sick bay before she was taken. The Q seemed to recognize her.
Perhaps from her time on the Boudica?
Indeed so. I want you all to take a look at these logs, and the captain's going to punch up the logs that make reference to this Q and Chronos Station.
So a lot of it's, captain's eyes only, super classified, didn't actually happen. But you can get into it.
Yeah, he just gives his access code.
Yeah, you get into it.
Puts it up.
So it describes. Go ahead.
You see Flitz, his eyes just kind of roll up for a second, and then he's like, fascinating.
You get a full history of 2 ships. The Boudica and the Ragnar, who apparently had a run-in with this Chronos Station and this daughter of Q, they called her. And apparently she ran and controlled the station like it was hers, and had been kidnapped, taken. It's a whole thing. You get the full history of those 2 things, and these 2 vessels had a timey-wimey, across time and space interaction. They rescued her. They stopped this crazy captain from destroying the universe to save her son, which, how does that save her son if it destroys the universe? She was crazy. And the last thing that happened is the daughter of Q was like, thanks, guys, and then took her station and disappeared. And no one's heard from her in years.
That's
years
right.
and years and years, right? No one.
So,
yeah.
Were there any detailed scans of Chronos Station that we had available?
There absolutely were.
Does the technology signature of Chronos Station at all match what we are seeing?
Now we're cooking in spam. Now we're cooking with spam. Yes, it does. In fact, it is the exact same material makeup. And as you start to kind of look at the logs, the amount of material, Chronos Station was huge, absolutely enormous, massive, right? As you start to look at the materials and everything, you start to realize 2 things. This beam of energy that appears to be giving power to the planet, it's actually doing 2 things. It's giving power to something on the planet, which is taking energy back from the planet and pumping it into the ring around the star. So it's like a transfer, but it's an unequal transfer. The planet, if this goes on for much longer, is going to implode in on itself. Probably another couple of years, but like it's probably a bad thing. And based on some of the scans you're reading, it's probably not healthy for the inhabitants either. So do with that information as you see fit.
Well, now it seems we have a further responsibility to the inhabitants of this system to perhaps save them from their own god.
Bum, bum, bum. D4A is so unamused right now. God damn it.
Are there any murals on the walls of this station? Are those in the plans?
Not of you, Lieutenant Commander Stern.
Not of Stern, no.
No, but you haven't gotten into the station yet. So, you
Certain
guys
red
are ready to
caps?
be escorted to the planet's main island, if you so choose.
Sure, if that'll help
Standard.
get our crew member back.
Yes.
She's so unamused. Oh, I love it. 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 All right. So,
Trying to contain his excitement about this.
oh god.
Like,
Oh,
we're gonna fight a god.
Yay.
I mean, remember the first Klingons killed their gods.
I was saving that, but yeah.
Mm. So you guys get ready to head over to the planet, and which of you are going?
I guess the
Cap-
captain asked
Cap-
for everybody
Cap-
to go. Already
Captain's
there.
going.
Yes, command
No.
staff away mission. Command staff away mission. Command
Oh,
staff
boy.
away mission.
I
Command
I'll
staff
for
away
an
I wanna-
ensign that no one knows.
And we'll never see again.
You might.
Maybe.
She could be a fan favorite. I love it. You guys head off, get in your little shuttle, and you are escorted by a dozen of these fighter craft.
I think
these little
rather than the shuttle, we're gonna take a runabout.
Ooh, the runabout. I like that. That's fancy.
Are we going in uniform? Are we official like that?
Not dress.
Thank God.
We're going in.
We're going to a beach in our uniform, is my question.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
That
So
burned
you are
so easily.
And in my socks.
You are escorted to the planet, and two fighters break off from the group, which then heads back out into space, space among the stars. And they grab Thar's hammer, but they head down with you, and you go down to. You can see that there's about a dozen that you can see, and there's probably more because again, remember this planet is like Jupiter size; it's enormous. Okay, but there are these massive like Australia-sized continents floating around on this planet.
Can
And
I
then-
ask to do one thing as we come in?
Yeah, please.
I want to try to pinpoint the reception of the energy that's coming from the star. And I also want to see if it's the same, if it's going out the same way, or if there's a different exodus point for
control
the
science.
planetary energy.
I would also like medical to give me
Mhm.
a control medicine, because you're picking up some
This planet is highly irradiated.
highly.
Should we put on some like rad suits or something before we step out?
An injection of hyronolin should
should do it.
should protect us.
Are you a doctor
Am-
or am I, Captain?
Well, you are.
There
of course.
she is. There's.
Am I
the
affected by
commander.
this type of radiation?
We'll find out.
Should I do toxicology for a focus?
I would agree with that. Difficulty of 1 on both of these checks.
That's
Going in the same way as it's coming out. You guys
That's
should be
two
up to like
momentum.
6 momentum at this point, I believe.
We've got
You got 2, 4. Yeah, you should be
We
up to
got-
6 momentum.
Okay, my count's 5, but we'll
I'll give you 6. I'm feeling very
Okay.
friendly. You're gonna need it. All right, that's fine.
Alright.
Yeah.
We're full. We're
The
capped
GM's
on
giving us
guys.
momentum. The bad things are gonna happen. I got a lot of threat I'm sitting on. I'm gonna eat it. It's delicious. All right, so
Nom, nom, nom.
threat. So you guys are heading down to the planet. Now, Lieutenant Commander Stern, you are picking up a significant amount of radiation.
Mm-hmm.
However, based on your scans, the human, like your biology from the Milky Way galaxy, will be completely unaffected by it.
What about my crewmates? I
um
don't know. I don't know
everyone
if they're Milky Way galaxy.
everyone on your crew would be unaffected by this radiation, which is
Cool.
interesting, right?
Convenient.
Convenient, right? It's convenient. It's
Don't worry about
almost like by design. You feel
Oh.
like it's weird, right? It's weird.
Love it.
However, based on your scans,
Mm-hmm.
it should be deadly. Like you walk out
Hmm.
the ship and it melts you deadly.
Mm.
Like it should be, but you're like, but like it. I don't. It's weird. It's weird. Like this should
Sizzle,
kill me,
sizzle.
but it also looks like you run some tests. It's like, oh, this doesn't look like it's going to affect us. So either it's going to melt you when you walk out the door, or your system's wrong. That's the information you're getting. But you succeeded, so you know your system's not wrong.
I love
Trust
that.
the science.
All right. I hope you brought SPF 4000, Captain.
Captain, the
Hmm.
energy is going out the same way it's coming in. There is a massive ring and it kind of widens. So imagine like it's like a long tube and like a snake mouth that kind of like gets bigger, right? Like it's like a snake. It's like a slithery snake. I'm a snake. A slithery snake. It's like a big snake, right? And then that gets bigger. It's almost like a mouth, and it's almost like it's like drinking the planet as it's like regurgitating some energy back in.
Ooh.
Interesting, right? Yeah.
Interesting.
Now, Lieutenant Commander Stern, I had mentioned to you that I was going to lean on you.
Okay.
I was going to lean on you.
When you're not strong.
Uh-huh.
Because I wanted you to help
he'll
me
be your friend.
determine a few interesting key points that I will have to play with.
Okay.
Based on the scans that you have from the data that was given to you by the captain about the Numfel Legion that the Boudica and the Ragnar ran into, how is this energy negatively affecting the Numfel? What is it doing to them? Is it simple just radiation sickness? Is it like a virus? Like a bacteria? Are they being drained? Like, I want you to think outside the box, tell me how it's affecting them, and then we're going to run with that.
Yeah, I would say it's draining. Perhaps along with rapid aging of their cells.
Ooh. Okay. So it is like basically rapidly aging them. It's almost like it's stealing their life. Like it's stealing the life of the planet, it's stealing their lives as well. Is that kind of what you're thinking? Does that work?
Mm-hmm. But I'm assuming I know nothing of Mia C4A knows nothing of this species. I would say that they can regenerate pretty quick, but it still can't keep up with what is occurring.
Love it.
So I mean,
for normal
they're not
people,
going to die in 30 minutes.
Yeah,
but
normal people, they would die, but like these ones, because they can regenerate so fast, like you have that information and the data, which I think we even talked about that, but if not, it's canon now for the Doomfell. Yeah,
Go back and watch that.
Yeah, well, it's an old episode, but it still checks out.
It still checks out.
All right. Yes. That's funny. So good. That's perfect. So you have this information. You've been given it. Lieutenant Phelan. Old Phaley Whaley Ding Dong. All right. Phaley. You
Call me Admiral.
You quit calling me Shirley. We're having too much fun tonight. All right, calm down. This is a super serial game. All right. So you, Lieutenant Phelan, are picking up that there are numerous weapon signatures on the main continent's surface, like gun emplacements. Like this place is set up for like a war, like a fight, okay? And all of those weapon signatures are currently charged and primed. Don't know why, but they're charged and primed, okay? Just pointing that out to you. So you pick up. Lieutenant Commander Flitz, your console, you are picking up that this massive island has no goddamn right to be floating. It is made of like, I don't know, like futuronium. Okay, is the name of the material. It's called futuronium, and it's a very very strong substance. Like it's almost unbreakable. Okay, the futuronium is what it's called, and I'm having too much fun. All right, and it should be sinking. It should be sinking into the and you can't pick up any power like you can't pick up any like power sources or like engines or boosters. This thing should be sinking, but it's not. It's just floating, and it's like gently like floating across, like it's moving, maybe like I don't know, like 10 feet a minute. It's kind of floating across.
Who's piloting our runabout?
Not
The
me.
captain is now. Oh,
Uh,
all right. Well, you are now.
Who's piloting?
Drew is now,
Who's piloting?
Okay,
No.
perfect.
unless you don't
okay.
want to be.
I've got two con.
That's fine.
I could pilot
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna make
or
yeah,
co-pilot.
I was just gonna ask whoever wasn't piloting to hit up the science station and
I got you.
investigate. Captain, if you could investigate the possible methods of anti-gravity or whatever they're using to keep this futuranium island
I'm
floating.
futuranium.
What?
Did you say
Future-
futuranium?
Futuranium? Futuranium.
Is your
Is that what?
do you have like a haptic subroutine that names these things when you encounter them for the first time?
Yes, I do. It's it's one of
futuranium is
futuranium.
what it came up with.
That is what I have decided that it's called. Yes, as the
as
discoverer of the substance, I get to name it, and that is what the algorithm that I've set up for naming exotic substances came up with.
All right. Well, I will now take a look at this futuranium.
Same.
Yeah. It's either one of two things, Commander Flitz. Either there's a very powerful anti-graviton field propping them up, or this Q is using its power. But let's see if the sensors can pick up anything. So, GM, is that?
Yeah, control science. Difficulty of.
I will assist.
And is the runabout going to assist us as well?
Yeah. I'll allow it.
Let's see.
One.
What are we rolling?
Control science.
Could I do a reason engineering?
Sure.
Cool. I get a automatic success on all tasks using reason.
Winks at me. All right, so you get one momentum. One momentum. It's floating.
Looks like this island.
Okay.
On a futuronium.
To answer your question, there are no propulsion systems on the island. It's just floating.
Okay.
Captain, I believe there's something in the records about this. It's magic.
Bath?
Thank you.
That was that funny? I'm trying.
It was a good attempt, really.
Thank you, sir.
And GM, I want to spend that point of floating momentum and ask a question. I want to ask if the... So we know where the reception point is on the planet, and we know where the extraction point for the energy that's leaving the planet
Part of the
is
main
coming from.
island
Yep.
they're heading towards. Yeah.
Is there a structure or combat? Basically, what I'm asking is the Q actually using this as some sort of stellar siphon to basically give it power more so than to save that planet?
I think you just answered your own question.
Yeah. Okay. I had to get rid of the floating momentum though. I just didn't want to lose it.
You know what? That's a great idea. Probably. I think you're going down a rabbit hole that could be very interesting.
Commander Flitz, can you take a look at these disproportionate energy readings? It appears the planet is taking power from the star, but then, to use a human idiom, giving the star back its change. And it's a bad deal.
It's a bad deal. I want to imagine it's like
almost like somebody's cutting out a piece before it's calculated, like an excise tax.
Like those Coinstar machines. Put your coins in, but they take a good chunk of it.
Isn't this the plot of Office Space?
This is Star Trek Space.
This is Office Space.
The final Office Frontier.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Schmandy.
All their ships look like staplers.
Yeah.
Oh.
The red big staplers.
Final cubicle.
Yeah, the
No idea what you're talking
the
about.
Crytek goes back. I believe you have my cue. I believe you have my Cupler.
If we get to reenact the scene with the printer at the end,
I believe you have my Dyson sphere.
No, I believe you have my Dyson sphere. I'm
gonna
not
make
saying
that
no.
happen.
By the way,
Can we license "Damn It Feels Good to Be a Gangster"?
I don't
Yes.
think so. I don't think I have that kind of funding for that.
All right. Okay.
At some point, you should watch Office Space. It's a very funny movie.
Yeah, if you haven't watched it, it's fucking great. It's a classic. Good. All right, back down on the surface, you look up and you see a runabout coming down from the Erebus. You can recognize the runabout. Maybe, I don't know. You're not that great of an engineer, but you're working on it. You've been
you're talking to me.
jibber-jabbering on for a while. She's been nodding and smiling. And I would say, finally, did she ever run out of breath? Did she eventually stop? Because if not, she's just going to talk over her.
She has actually shifted into quoting Lovecraft.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's never good.
Yeah. Why?
She is recalling this story called The White Ship. It is not horror or anything creepy. It's just this ship that comes to this lighthouse, picks this guy up, and takes him to different islands.
So
she's recalling this story. She's like near the end of it. It's not a long one.
So you wrap up that story, and the woman, who still hasn't introduced herself, but she smiles warmly at you, and she asks you a question. She says, "Dear, what do you love most in your life? What if you lost it would break you so irreparably that you may never wish to go on?"
Wow. He was like not speechless, but like really doesn't know what to say because she doesn't really know if she knows that answer. I mean, what is love? And she's holding herself back from going on a rant, a mindless rant.
I'm trying so hard not to say it.
I don't know what it's got.
Is
I don't know
it
what it's
hurting
got
you?
to do with this. I don't know what it's got
Is it
to do
hurting
with
you?
this.
Don't,
Don't hurt me.
No more.
I'm not sure. I mean, that's such a vague question.
Perhaps I could answer it first for you. What I love more than anything is, and that is to say, if it was taken from me, it would break me, is, well, this. Snaps her finger, and a full drink of your mostly empty drink appears in your hand, and a full drink of her mostly empty drink appears in her hand. This.
Pineapple juice?
No, love. The ability to do anything. Sets it down. What do you
I mean, that's kind of shallow.
Just call her out.
She kind of like nods her head a little bit.
Damn.
You know why I wanted to keep you, Gila?
You know, I really couldn't say, but it's kind of weird.
Well, I suppose that it is. She lets out a kind of soft chuckle. I wanted to keep you because I've been watching you, and you speak your mind unfiltered. You, at all intents and purposes, should be scared of what I can do.
Oh, I'm terrified. I mean, like I stick in my corner in engineering. I don't go anywhere. I didn't even realize we've been gone for like how many months, because you know I'm just in that corner all the time, and you know, like I'm background, like not here.
Leans forward, swinging her legs over the side of the beach chair. She sets her drink down on the end of it. Her big floppy hat kind of floops down, and she like lifts it up so she can look at you. And you notice that her eyes are a bright sapphire blue, and they're almost kind of glowing. And she kind of locks eyes on you, her eyes burning into yours for a brief moment. What if I could share with you this? She snaps her finger again, and 2 more drinks appear on either side of you.
I don't think I need any more drinks. Like I'm really full, and I'm gonna have to use the bathroom in a minute. My bladder is so full.
I'm sure that
like,
it is.
So full.
What I mean to say, Ensign Gila, I've grown a bit bored, and I'm looking for a replacement.
Well, I don't want to sit on this beach forever. Like, I mean, you know, don't get me wrong, it's nice, but I mean, you know, when you can do everything, yeah, life gets boring.
Nods. So it does. And that's why I've decided to, well, kill everyone.
Oh.
Really? Like, really? That's your best option?
Well,
Why do you get to kill everyone? Like, why is that your choice? Like, really?
well, simply because I can. And she offers a, like, really devilish grin. Like an uncomfortably devilish grin. Gila, you notice something. As she is grinning at you, her right hand is ever so slightly shaking. Like she has Parkinson's or something. Like she's starting to shake, and her sapphire eyes dim for a moment and then brighten. And there is a shaking on, like, almost like the island is having an earthquake for a moment, and then her hand stops shaking.
Or, you know, you could kill everyone. I mean, you can do everything. So, and she kind of slides down in her chair a little bit. I mean, you know, you could do anything. So, I mean, what are we lowly creatures? Just as someone that can do anything.
What are you?
A creature?
Interesting. Because your lives are so fleeting.
To you.
At least you used to be.
Used to be. What does that mean?
And with that, we're going to pivot back to the shuttle, which lands a little ways away from the beach. And you look out and you see that there is a large gathering of these Noomfell, and they look really ill. Like, really, really ill. Like, sickly, frail, like walking with canes. Some of them are trying to hold one another up. And it's not a good look. It's not
I
a good
look
look, right?
forlornly at my medical kit. It's like, I did not bring enough supplies for this.
Quick question.
Quick answer.
And I want to know if this is something I can roll for. Those weapon systems that you said had basically militarized this continent.
Yeah.
With the systems on the runabout, would I be able to tell if those weapons were being manually controlled or if they're automated?
They appeared to have been automated, and I would still like you to roll a reason security difficulty of 1, because I want to see if you can pick up on something.
Reason, security, threat awareness.
Yes, 100%.
Wow,
that's fantastic. You have 2 floating momentum. Actually, 3. Jesus. That's good. So you could use that momentum to create an advantage.
Okay.
You could ask me a question, but I'm going to answer your question first. So what we got? So you realize that all of those weapons were pointed at the energy ring that is right next to the planet. That is like the head of the snake. The slither snake. It's the head of the snake, and it is. They're all pointed at that, and they are primed and ready to fire. That's a thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Slither snake. Can't stop. I don't know why it's so funny.
I'm going to relay this to Lieutenant Commander Flitz. And I'm going to recommend to see if there's any kind of, if we can locate any kind of control node.
Ooh, Flitz? Flitz, you don't see a control node. There's not. Again, just like this island shouldn't be floating. It is. Just like those weapons should have a control node. You can't see one.
There doesn't appear to be anything controlling it, Lieutenant.
It's like a spider web without a center. Like you just keep following it. It's like a maze, like a spirally maze that never gets to the center. Just keep spinning.
It's like a fractal.
Yeah, it's like a fractal.
You believe these might be being controlled then by the Q?
It's the only thing that I believe that's the only thing that it could be, Lieutenant. It's magic.
Captain, what course of action do you recommend here? Seems that the Q is preparing to destroy this planet's power source.
It does. If past interactions Starfleet personnel have had with the Q are any indication, phasers and photon torpedoes won't help us. But words may. In the meantime, Lieutenant Phelan, I want a contingency in place for a quick beam out to the runabout and a fast escape. If you and Commander Flitz can make that happen before we track down our missing ensign,
Understood.
would be ideal.
Perhaps we should speak with the, what were they named? The Numfell?
Indeed. Commander Stern, I want that to be you. There seem to be a number of them around. Perhaps they look decrepit, but perhaps you can do something for some of them.
Yes, Captain, I would like to provide aid where I can.
I want you to imagine, Lieutenant Commander Stern, as you look out the window, like war-torn refugee camp style.
Oh.
Like, it's sad. But, like, they're all smiling, which is sadder.
Well, because they have to love this god, or their continent will fall into the planet and they'll die.
Right.
Did
Correct.
we spend those 3 floating momentum?
We have not as of yet.
Cool. Can I spend 2 of those to create an advantage?
I'll allow it because I have to by the rules.
As the captain is operating the scanners on the runabout, perhaps in conjunction with, like, still linked to the Erebus and in conjunction with their far more powerful sensors.
Love it.
So this is what I'm sort of conceptualizing this as, is basically this queue has unraveled Kronos Station and just sort of slid it down over this star system. And, you know, if it was a space station, space stations have control points. And what I want is to create an advantage that we are able to basically tweak the power flow or control it with a check. Because the captain has a theory. And the captain's theory is that this planet, this system, and this configuration is some sort of perhaps life support system for this queue. And wants to be able to sort of turn off the taps to perhaps make the deal better for the planet.
Oh, okay.
But
we're gonna kill the daughter of Q? We might.
But no. Hang on, we're not killing anybody. We're
it's.
But he wants to have that as a trump card.
All right. So you remember how I said, Lieutenant Commander Flitz, that you couldn't pick up a power station or like a control station?
That
on the
is
island?
something that you said, correct?
Yeah, that's because it's not on the planet.
It's
It's up in the ring. It's up in the ring.
Commander Flitz, I think I've found our solution.
Okay.
Lieutenant Commander
Agreed,
Stern,
Captain.
I would like you to give me a control medicine as you scan the 100 or so Numfell that are surrounding the vessel, smiling awkwardly. As we
have to smile or they'll kill us all.
We have to smile or she'll sink us into the ocean and kill us all. Please, gods, don't let us die.
This reminds me of like that Treehouse of Horror when Bart gets like superpowers and it's like, and the kick is up. The ball is turning into a bald fat man. And you know what happens every time we see something like that? It's good that Bart did that. It's very, very good. Like it's.
I'm sorry, what am I rolling?
Control medicine.
Okay.
And it's no good.
The difficulty? 1.
Okay. I'm trying to decide if this talent is applicable. I have the proper equipment for this, so
I believe.
Mind. Control medicine.
I believe.
How about triage, emergency medicine?
Emergency medicine, yes. 100%. 100%.
Cool.
Wow, yeah, you're good. You have a floating momentum.
So we're actually back up to 2 floating momentum if this is still the same scene.
It is.
Oh man. could create another advantage, and I think I have another idea for one that would be
Go for
kind
it.
of cool.
Go for it, Phelan.
Fish
Okay.
Randy first.
As Phelan is kind of readying the ship for a quick egress, how close are these Numfel getting to us?
Within like 50 feet of the vessel. They're curious, they're smiling and they're curious and they're pointing and like talking, and they're all dressed in these like monkly like robes as they're watching you. And
I will.
Yeah.
Phelan will approach one of them.
You're gonna exit the ship and approach them.
Yes.
Yeah,
Ooh.
so have I. After I've determined that
Okay.
earlier that the radiation's not going to kill us.
You both walk out. It is
Hot
really
as fuck.
hot as fuck. Yeah, it's hot as fuck. Like you instantaneously start sweating.
It's like, ugh.
Yeah. Ugh. But they're like all happy, and they're like, you know, kind of mumbling themselves, and you keep hearing the word, the angels. Keep hearing the phrase, "The angels of the apocalypse are here."
Oh no.
Fun.
All right.
So do you want to go first?
You want to deal with that?
I will immediately start trying to help and heal. That's
Yeah.
she's taking in the destruction as like, put me to work.
Yep.
Humanitarian crisis.
A little tiny like child Numfel walks up, and they're
Little
like,
crutch.
yeah, the little crutch, like, "Excuse me, miss."
And a little
May I have
Newsies cap.
some more?
God bless
Excuse
us,
me, miss.
everyone.
Are you here to help in the rebirth?
Take that one out.
Take
of its
away all my
history.
pain and me broken leg.
Oh no, it's got a broken leg.
Oh no!
We'll hobble.
Don't work, Tiny Tim. We'll save you for Christmas.
No, we won't.
We're gonna be. God damn it, we're gonna.
Come
be here
on,
for, like,
Lieutenant
3
Commander
years helping
Stern.
these
Time to
people.
be a badass doctor and fix the broken child.
Snap the leg back into
We
position.
probably have a shot for that at this point.
I'm honestly, I can
Shot
fix
of
that.
rebone you little.
Yeah, I will immediately start getting to work. Like the ones that look somewhat able to walk better, have them
Oh,
set
not
up
me then.
station
I'm all
and-
broken.
I'm not dead yet. And I'm only mostly dead. I don't want to go on the cart. And setting up stations and just getting to work.
Cool. I would like you to give me a very difficult check here. I'm going to see how many of these Numful you can save, and if you can actually start to do some good. You're going to give me a difficulty control medicine, a difficulty of 4.
Would I say, because there's so many of them and I only came with my emergency kit, I don't have proper tools?
You don't
for
have
equipment?
enough to save all of them. You can start
Okay.
like your best bet is you can probably start to fix a couple of them and come up
Okay.
with a plan, but you would need like to mass produce this on a scale that probably even the Erebus
We would need
can't.
the ship.
Yeah, could we message up to the ship? But I'm also wondering, because I can just use my field medicine, attempting a medicine task, I can ignore any increase in difficulty because
Oh.
of working without proper tools or
Then
equipment.
yes, then it'll actually go down to a 3.
Do we
Okay.
have extra dice I can have, y'all?
We have
So many.
2 floating momentum and 6 regular momentum, so we're up to 8 momentum right now.
Gimme.
So if you want 2 more, I'll drop us down to 5 momentum,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and you roll 4 dices.
4 dice. I
Uh,
don't remember what I'm rolling.
The medical term is deces.
Oh,
Deuce?
sorry.
What am I rolling? Something medicine.
Control medicine.
Control.
Those all medicine.
Control. 4 dice. Emergency medicine, triage.
Yeah.
Xenobiology.
Oh, yeah.
Give them.
Yep.
Gimme.
This is your wheelhouse, dude. You're about to see if you can
Gimme,
come up.
gimme,
Oh
gimme.
my god, right on the money. Wow. Okay. Couple things. The solar radiation that's being pumped into this planet is killing these people, right?
Yes.
It's killing these people
Shiza.
slowly. But
Oh, boy.
it takes you some time, but you're able to whip up an inoculation that would They would still be affected by it, but their
Mm.
natural regeneration that you had picked up on earlier,
Mhm.
it would be like it'd be like Wolverine, right? Like you'd still see a little bit
Yeah.
of burning, but he'd be healing fast enough. It would take them some time, probably as much time as it's taken them to like get to this point, which they may have been here for years.
Mhm.
It would probably take them years, but they would slowly start to get better, right? If it's like 51% they're dying, it would be 51% they're living. So it's a slow process, but it would heal them. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
Have you come to start the rebirth, miss? Are you going to fix us? Are you the angel of the apocalypse, like the god has foretold?
I am no angel, but I will do what I can to help you and your people.
Then why do you have wings, miss?
Check for a fever.
She like points up to your pony, like your little like pigtails.
Let's.
Yeah.
We're just gonna. Let's get to work.
So Lieutenant Commander Stern is being a badass and saving people from dying. That's good.
Mhm.
Lieutenant Phelan,
Yes.
you went up to talk to one of them.
Yes.
One of these that doesn't look that sick. And actually, it's the exact same person. Their ship had landed a little ways away, much taller, probably about a foot taller than everyone else. Long blue, like bent back alien legs. It looks almost like a different species, but it might just be like either older or slightly modified. It's wearing a lot of armor. Looks like a warrior, like a true warrior, and
Hmm.
approaches you, and it
That's what I'm looking for.
gives you a grunt, like a mouth breeze.
You be among the stronger of your people.
There is a reason I was elected Crytek.
Hmm.
Cytek? That's the one I said, Cytek.
Yes.
I am the strongest of my people. I am second only to our god.
You may be strong. You may be strong in the body, but what of your mind and spirit?
My mind and spirit are protected by our creator, our protector. My mind and spirit are impenetrable.
I look around at the sick and dying people. And you call this protection?
They
Your
are
god
simply awaiting the rebirth that is to come. It is the great cycle.
And it was your god the one who told you this?
But of course, she has informed us of all things, of the ways of life, and through her wisdom and guidance we have traveled the stars, gone to places many species have only dreamed of, and some have never even considered.
And apparently, with all of that, all it has cost you is a slow and withering death. I wonder, what were your people like before this god came?
Give me a reason security difficulty of 2. Because that seems to touch a chord in this person that, like, they're struggling against, almost as though there's, like, a mental block.
I don't think I have a focus that applies to this.
Interrogation.
Interrogation?
I
do
allow
interrogation.
it. I know your foci.
There's a 2!
Oh, mama. You know, like, psychological conditioning? This person, like, wants to answer your question, but isn't able to in this moment.
I will lean in a little closer. Has anyone of your people ever considered simply telling your god no?
The Cytech, holding a helmet, like a pilot, full armor, weapons, looks like almost as badass as a Klingon warrior.
Almost.
Considers this. No. We have not, because before she graced us with her presence, we were nothing. We had not even dreamed of the stars. We were simply wandering the great oceans of this world.
And you believe that through obedience you have become better.
She has given us wings, allowed us to fly.
And apparently has taken a great deal in return.
What is your point?
My point is this. There is an old saying among my people. And 1 second, because I did actually translate this.
Ooh, you're sassy.
Vaj yon ish, goblidach, o gobak daje. It is better to die on your feet than to live on your knees.
A moment of hesitation. And this leader seems moved by your words. Lieutenant Balin seems moved by your words. And their gaze drifts over to a sandy beach where two big floppy-hatted people are sitting. And Tequila, you've been having this conversation. Oh, they're right there. They're right there. It's hilarious. And you watch as the Cytek's hand slowly starts to like drift towards what appears to be a weapon on their hip. Just ever so slightly. It pauses, it doesn't touch it, but there's like anyone else watching wouldn't notice it, but as a warrior, you notice the subtle movement towards the weapon. Like, I'm considering it. Like, I could shoot her right now. I wonder what would happen. But they don't do it yet. Lieutenant Commander Stern, the little Oliver the Numfel, all right, is looking a lot better. Slowly but surely. Thank you, Angel of the Apocalypse. You have allowed me to survive long enough to see the rebirth. Or a good egg.
What is this rebirth you speak of?
Oh, our God has told us that we're all going to die, but be reborn, renewed, once more, after the ritual is complete. She points up, a giant burning beam of light in the sky.
Immediately, sun.
Oh, wow. Damn it.
Look directly at the fucking sun.
It's almost like it's like a magnifying glass on the planet almost. Ah, it's very hot.
And
Sun is a burning laser.
Yeah. My eyes.
Mein Augen.
Scheiße.
The goggles, they do not sing.
I know. So that was last episode. We had sunglasses.
Oh yeah.
Didn't bring those back this time. And this god of yours. What does it look like?
The little Numfel child describes a black, raven-haired smooth skin like yourself.
Perfect.
All right, smooth skin.
Thank you.
Please, God, take them now. Just take them.
Just fix them and then they're all gonna die anyway.
I never ask you for anything.
That's funny.
Are you okay?
Oh, it's a reference to our Fallout game back in the day.
Oh yeah. Kill them, please.
Please,
God.
I
never asked for anything. This one
do
thing.
this one thing for me.
If Ensign Keela and the queue are like right there,
Like probably like a football field away from you.
should we start heading towards them? Like, I'll point them out to the captain.
Yes, once Commander Flitz and I finish up with this control node.
Let's give me a control engineering difficulty of 3, as you are establishing a connection with the control node.
Would my focus of theoretical experimental physics work, or maybe power systems?
Power systems, yes. Judges in Klingon.
Okay.
That's funny.
Control.
Oh, that runabout's sweet, by the way. That looks awesome.
Yeah, it's a Yellowstone class
That looks
runabout.
sweet. That's exactly what you have. So futuristic.
How many
You have 5
momentum do we
momentum
have?
right now.
5? Does anyone mind if I burn 3 to get 2 extra dice?
Yes, but I'm gonna be a
Uh,
dick, and I'm gonna spend 3 momentum to make your complication range an 18 to 20. Get wrecked. Through threat. Momentum threat.
How about, Drew, if I give you a counter offer?
I'm willing to hear it.
So I'm going to assist you in this role.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
On the and Derwolf, you can shut me down if you feel like it. But I want to assist with my science skill.
Go on.
I'm the technical, Flitz is the practical.
Done. I allow it. Good idea.
So
We're trying
also,
to tell me just roll the roll. Oh my god.
Yep. And I'm also going to spend my point of determination to grant Flitz that point of determination so that he can get 2 free successes without having to worry about that extended complication range.
The man was
Touche.
too slow to speak.
Touche. I'll remember this, Captain.
And I'm going to roll my challenge die.
All right, I'm only going to use...
I get that point of determination right back.
I'm only going to use 1 momentum then. And I'll roll 3. I've got 2 successes. I have a focus. I will buy that for $1.
And
all right.
Hang on, I'm gonna roll my assist.
Roll cheating.
1.
That's why you love us.
Wolf, the
That's why he
dice have a
tolerates
Oh my
slight
god! What is happening?
Oh, get wrecked,
Don't
Wolf.
you have like 10
Get
floating
wrecked.
momentum now? Jesus.
So
wait,
so
difficulty
so
3.
the 3, 4, 5, 6,
2,
7. That's 7 successes.
So you have
We are
4
the
you
avenging-
have 3 floating momentum.
Yeah.
We are.
Where is your key?
Let's get in a let's
You know what? I
just
spend
take an
all of my threat Borg tactical cube. All right, get
Damn
fucked.
it. I'm going to create an advantage that
Yeah, I was gonna say
that
let's create an advantage.
that the weapon emplacements on this planet, because they're Q technology, the Borg can't adapt to them, and we will blow them out of the sky.
Yeah,
Good night, everybody.
Executive producer Gene Roddenberry.
Well, that's the show.
Darewolf Twitch channel deleted. Shit.
They never heard from any of
Discord
us
server
again.
gone.
Players specifically never
Changes
heard
his
We gotta go
name
into
on
witness
Discord.
protection.
Just leaves. Moves to Mexico.
Goes into Game Master Witness Protection.
Yeah. Show us on the roll 20 where they touched you. It's right there. 3 was the difficulty. It was 7 successes. It was bullshit.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd like for us to have control now over this node.
Done.
And I want to create another advantage that is not directly related to anything we're doing, but to something that may happen to this planet in the future.
Go for it.
That if we basically tighten the energy distribution to be more in favor of the planet,
Close the snake's mouth.
Yeah, exactly. That the harmful radiation would be reduced to a specific area that can then be avoided, and it'll maintain the planet as it has been, but without the massive flooding of radiation.
If we can manage to not kill the Q and possibly gain their favor so we can save Ardell's people, that would be...
I mean, potentially, but it seems like they need this whole contraption to just live.
Yeah. I have to imagine making it that big of a deal with the Q. There would be so many strings attached.
Well, maybe they
we'll
like
see.
Keela, so Keela, keep talking.
Yeah, there you go.
No pressure.
We're gonna go back to that scene as you guys are starting to stroll your way over
as
to them.
we start to come over.
Yeah, and she looks over and she goes, "Looks like your crew has arrived. So, Ensign Keela, do you wish to forsake the gift that I am offering you? Do you wish to reconsider?"
Well, other than the drinks, I'm not entirely sure what you're offering. Because you just keep popping drinks.
Another drink pops.
God.
You're surrounded by drinks.
Popping
You
bottles.
move and one gets knocked over and she doesn't say anything.
Case in point.
Somewhere in the universe, Solaris is cringing.
Be playing with me.
She kind of sucks on her teeth for a moment, like, there was an old human quote. Goes something like, "Death. That would be a great adventure." May I be completely honest with you, Ensign Keela?
Absolutely.
I am, as much as it might surprise you, God, I am unwell. Simply put, I am dying. There was a time being a funny thing when you can go anywhere in time. But there was a time when I was tricked, trapped, and taken. And ever since then, I have not quite been myself. Maybe it's all in my mind, but I don't ever really feel safe or content. And so I figured, why not just end it all? But then your ship appeared in this galaxy, and I started to watch it. It was curious, so far from home and yet so full of hope. And aboard that ship I saw you, simply put, you are full of wonder, joy and excitement, and a passion for life that I once also felt. And I thought, even if I die, maybe what I am doesn't have to. So I'm offering for you to replace me, Keela. Take my gifts and use them as you see.
And you won't kill everyone here.
Oh no. My toys are going with me.
Excuse me?
There it is.
And the captain and everyone else walks up and hears, "Nope, my toys are going with me." Oh, hello, Captain. Lieutenant Commander Stern, Phelan, Mr. Flitz. Nice of you to join us. We were just finalizing a deal between Ensign Keela and I.
Deal, Ensign. What sort of deal?
Excuse me. Since Keela asked be playing with me, she has been very serious. She hasn't looked away from Q. And she says, if I am to continue, what makes you think you can take my toys with you? They're mine now.
She cuts, like clicking her tongue on the roof of her mouth. Are you threatening me, Ensign Keela?
You've already threatened the lives. I don't even know if threaten is a word of this entire species here. I don't think mine's much of a comparison.
She looks over to the captain. You've been meddling. Do you think your meddling will stop me? I really want to do what I choose to do.
Well, Q.
Daughter of Captain.
Yeah, I apologize. Daughter of Q.
Disintegrates him. No, I'm just kidding. There will be no apologies. Disintegrate. No, I'm kidding. It's terrible.
You get one chance.
Yeah. Everybody gets none.
It's clear to me that this system, this configuration that you've developed here is nothing but an elaborate life support system. And right now, and he's holding his tricorder and flips it open. This is, my hand is on the plug.
She goes to lift her hand towards you.
And with that, he'll tap a command into the comm badge and begin to restrict the energy flow.
And as you do so, Keela, you see her hand start shaking, and she goes to lift it and stumbles forward into the sand, collapsing, and starts to convulse.
Oh, I will immediately.
Keela jumps to see what's wrong with her.
Same.
Yeah. She's having a seizure. And you
Put her on her side.
You start to scan her, and she is registering as just a plain old regular human that is having a seizure. Whatever you did, Captain, you have done. You've done
sure
it.
Did it.
You sure did it.
Okay, well, he'll see what happens if he increases the power flow.
Let's let Lieutenant Commander Stern make a little medical check here.
Yeah.
Well,
control medicine. Keela, what do you want to do?
While she's doing that, Keela is just keeping her on her side and hands on either side of her face, just stabilizing her.
It's just like eyes rolled to the back of their head, convulsing, like she's having a bad time.
Yeah, Keela is muttering like when someone's having a seizure, it's sometimes good to talk to them to keep them in so that's
reality.
that's kind of what Keela's doing.
Yeah. Commander Stern, you could probably sedate her, and it would lessen the symptoms of the seizure. Like she'd stop seizing right now.
Mm-hmm.
But you're reading her, and it's like her. Basically, she has like really, really advanced dementia, like Alzheimer's. Like you're starting to see like her brain. There's like black parts in her brain on the scan. Like she has like all the diseases that are debilitating. Like she has them. Like she's literally just falling apart right now.
Captain, whatever you're doing, you are killing her.
I've reversed the power flow already.
And it doesn't seem to be working.
I think whatever was happening on this planet was just delaying the inevitable.
Perhaps the merciful thing to do would be to...
I am going to save her.
Is there has anything changed in the readings on the power supply? Like
So
He
you
throttled
tighten the
it back
beam,
and then he brought it back up.
and then
yeah.
you take it back to as wide as it was? Okay.
Yeah.
So as you tightened it, the radiations, like that, like starlight dust, like sounded like radiation, like it got shot to one part of the planet. And there was like, it wasn't quite as hot as it was, right? All the stations, everything was moving. There weren't any earthquakes or anything. As you wind it again, it got very warm again. But other than that, nothing else changed that you could note. Phelan, you were going to say something?
Oh, no.
Okay, I thought you saw your mouthing. But did
So
you have
nothing scientifically has changed due to any readings or anything.
no
Same
same kind of stuff? Definitely, though, as you tighten the beam, I will say this. Excuse me. When you tighten the beam, the power distribution, like given the take, was more in favor of the planet than it was of the star. It's subtle, just like the 51 to 51. It's very subtle.
And the deadly radiation was confined to one area.
Yeah.
Try to treat the Q like the same or similar treatment for the other beings here, trying to slow down
I am going to give you an
the rapid
option here,
degeneration. Okay.
Lieutenant Commander Stern. This is entirely up to you.
Okay.
Can you save her?
Yes.
Okay. The check is not going to be easy. But I'm going to give you a chance.
She's not God, but it's also of a mindset that no one else will
living
die,
person, right? Yeah. All right.
no matter what they've done.
This is going to be the Fabled difficulty 5. All right. You guys have a lot of momentum. There's lots of determination on the field. Your dice luck has been stupid.
I know, but also
you're gonna have to, like, it's like, it's like that Simpsons episode. It's like you have all the diseases, right? And it's like they can't get through the door.
Syndrome.
She's like invincible. Like, you have to figure out how to tighten that doorway so she can't get through it. As this is happening, Lieutenant Phelan, you notice the Psytech has drawn a weapon, looks like a phaser of some sort, and is making a, warrior's march towards the situation. Kind of looks like they see an opportunity. Like, you can read the fucking field. They see an opportunity. Now's my chance, right? And they are marching towards this situation.
Phelan will stand in the way.
Ooh, stands in the way. You meet them about 20 feet from it. The Psytech looks down and says, "Stand aside. Even gods need to sometimes die."
So you would now find your pride when your opponent is at its weakest.
I would find an opportunity, and I would take advantage of it. Yes. It's no different than finding a weak part of the enemy's battle line.
And what would that make you afterward?
Free.
Perhaps. You would be free of the Q. But what would free you from the next opportunist to come along and see you in the position that you find yourselves in?
Give me a presence security difficulty of 3. Oh,
Presence security.
Phelan and Stern coming through in the clutch right now. Stern doctoring it up like a BAMF.
Interrogate? Nah. Survival. Nah. We'll just go a 2. Yeah,
Ooh.
Can I assist him?
No, you're too far away. You're watching everything happening with Stern. All right.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
The Psytech's gonna swing on you. We're gonna have a fight there in a little bit, which is gonna be super fun. You're gonna kertuffle. Lieutenant Commander Stern, Fabled difficulty 5. We got to get to this.
You say you're gonna cartuffle?
You're gonna.
They're gonna potato.
They're gonna potato.
Yeah, we are.
We're gonna have a little kertuffle.
Are we
You
gonna
know what?
dance?
Kartoffelkopf.
That'd be Kartoffeln.
Do you know of the
Kartoffelkopf.
ritual of Kartoffel?
We're gonna put that difficulty down to 4 with my field medicine.
Ooh, you're sassy.
What was it? Because I
Control medicine. You're good, dude.
control my brain is like a sieve this evening,
You've
apparently.
had a long day. It's all good. I understand.
All right. What dice? How many can I have?
Don't
how
forget
many
you
do
have
we
a
have?
determination, which I'd recommend using.
Okay,
I'll
I
give
will
you 2 free
use-
successes.
So it'll buy you a die with
Mhm.
2 free successes. If you spend 5 momentum, then you can have 2 more dice to roll. So you can roll 4 with 2 successes guaranteed.
You only need 2 successes.
Or you can buy 1 for 2 and
Y'all are throwing numbers at me. Just tell me what I need
Okay.
to do.
Roll 4. Spend them all.
Yep.
All right.
This is
all right,
important.
Yeah.
While she's rolling that, the Psytech's gonna swing on you.
All right.
Fitness security. Let's go.
Security,
Fight!
hand-to-hand
Fight!
combat.
Shiza.
Shiza.
Oh man.
No, I have. So if I.
So we
I
have-
don't know how to do this. If I
so
give
we
a
have-
value, I can reroll.
Yes. If you challenge a value,
I can
Mhm.
give her my determination.
fuck you.
So that's
You
what I'm
can,
gonna do.
and then you can re-roll
I'm
those
gonna-
dice.
I'm gonna give you my point of determination as the commanding officer, C4A. So roll 3 dice again.
Okay.
'cause we're-
Yep. So you're at 4.
And-
You're at 3 successes right now.
I'm gonna see if we can get no effect. So I don't get my determination back this time, Wolf. So that'll make you happy. So I can't stun lock you.
Oh,
with
there
my-
it is. I love it. I love it. So you succeed with a complication, which I love.
Okay.
I absolutely love that. All right, this is interesting.
Alright.
Okay, so here we go. Here's the complication. Okay, you stop her from seizing, and she shoots up. All right.
Mhm.
Complication is that the frickin' Psytech is gonna get a shot off as she starts to Kartofffelkopf with Lieutenant Phelan.
Okay.
All right. So Lieutenant Phelan, she goes to square up. Her reaction, his reaction, their reaction is so fast as they draw. Your patient shoots up, and she's like, "You fixed me." Phaser blast to the side. She collapses and starts convulsing again. Ah!
I'm gonna scream.
No!
I
I'm
will
gonna throw a-
scream behind me.
All right.
Just unintelligible.
Can Keela jump in the way
I'm gonna say
or push her out of the way?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
they're
say
like
in this
too fast.
situation, because it's a complication, no, it happens so quickly.
Yeah, their aim was impeccable.
Like just
since
like
all leaning over her.
yeah, all leaning over, just right through the middle of everybody, strikes her in the side. She falls over, collapses, and starts convulsing. Right? Collapses, starts convulsing. You're gonna throw a haymaker. Fitness security.
Hand-to-hand combat.
Hand-to-hand combat. You got it. Wow. Wow. Roll me a hand-to-hand combat check. So roll me some challenge dice. Or it should be on your sheet, I believe,
where
if you
do I
put it
do
on there.
that?
But
Yeah, you're unarmed. Is
I believe it's your security.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's like it's a lot.
you're unarmed is just basically is just your security.
Okay.
So
Where
you
is
roll
it?
a number of challenge
Alright.
dice.
Yeah,
equals
roll
to-
5 challenge
Attack,
dice. Unless you have
melee.
any bonuses or traits that give you bonuses to it.
Alright. And that's what? 1d20, 2d20?
No, it's
It's,
the
D6s.
challenge dice. So you click
Oh.
on the challenge dice button, and then you
you're
put
gonna
in
roll
5. Yeah.
I don't see where I put the challenge dice.
It's at the bottom. Challenge dice button at the bottom.
If you don't have a macro set up, you won't see it.
Oh, yeah, I don't have one.
Oh, okay. I'll roll it for you.
So
Cool.
Or you roll it. It's up to you.
How many
yeah,
do I need to roll?
5d6.
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 Actually, let me roll it because the challenge dice roll the way they're supposed to roll for me. 6. That's oh wow. Do you have any plus effects? Because you got so many plus effects.
Oh,
Knockdown
man.
is on unarmed.
Okay, so this is amazing. So here's what's gonna happen. Are you haymakering? How are you doing this, Lieutenant Phelan?
That's 6
I'm
damage.
doing a full, like,
It's a lot.
as she draws her phaser, I'm gonna, like, kind of instinctually, like, unfortunately, my dodge out of the way is what gives her a shot at the Q.
Yep.
but then I just come back and full on like Mortal Kombat uppercut.
So you Mortal Kombat uppercut. This thing goes like ragdoll style, flying back like 6 feet, landing hard on their back, wind knocked out of them. Phaser goes flying. They start to scramble towards it, but you're able to knock down and pounce on them and restrain them.
I also like, conduct yourself with some dignity.
We will be free!
Your people will have your justice.
You have given us the strength to be free! The Newfels shall not be slaves!
You have the strength, but do you have the honor to use it?
Yeah! Wavy, wacky, inflatable Newfell Legion.
This is Phelan's best day ever.
I got to sucker punch an alien.
It was awesome. Your patient's in bad shape, buddy. They just took a phaser blast to the side.
And yeah, so after she got shot, I turned around and was like screaming unintelligible. And I go
German!
back to work again,
German
like,
anger.
Yes.
Hey,
Sounds
welcome to the guest
very
star,
angry.
Keela. Welcome. This is the chaos you run into every week here. We have a good time. That complication was so perfectly timed. I couldn't have chosen it better myself. It was wonderful.
So restabilizer.
Yeah, this one's only gonna be a 4.
It's a 3 now.
Yeah, it's bad though. You don't have a lot of momentum. You want to give me some threat?
No.
Come on, all the cool kids are doing it.
No, I'm not that
Uh,
cool.
Come on.
Now you can challenge a value to get an additional 2 successes.
But challenging it means I have to change it later,
Replace
right?
it.
You gotta cross
delete
it and
it,
replace it.
Replace it. Yeah, and it has to be like relevant to. Yeah. So the
I like
Q,
them though.
the daughter of Q is there, and she's like in bad shape, and she's like coughing up like blood, right? Like she's dying because she's got phaser bad, and she looks up to Keela, and she's like, "You could have, you could have been a god. Why?"
I was gonna say contender.
Mother.
Oh no!
Oh man!
Oh no!
Oh,
Now may be good to challenge a value.
Oh no!
Unless we're okay with whatever this is.
I don't want her to die. I've got never give up, never surrender.
And
You're
you
gonna
can
challenge
swap
that? I
out
feel
for
like you-
by the hammer of Grabthar, what a savings.
Oh,
Got him.
right? That is how I challenge that, right?
You have to do the opposite of the value.
Yeah.
That's why you
That's why you
challenge it.
challenge it, yeah.
I thought it was offering it up. Clearly, I don't know what challenge means.
That's okay.
Survivor's
don't-
guilt, because she's not gonna die.
Ooh, I like that. Yes! You could cross out Survivor's Guilt.
Oh, fudge, but I really like that too.
Good point.
All right.
Story development.
You can just let it happen. It's up to you. It's your choice. Phelan got to punch an alien. Blitz got to fuck with Bronson and do
Oh,
a
look,
crowd
please
laugh.
finish that so fast.
Captain likes cold brew.
Yeah, clearly.
Keela got to get... Keela, you're a little drunk, by the way.
Oh, it was alcoholic pineapple.
Oh, yeah.
Right on. Okay. I don't know.
Which is basically just you. You're still chatting, so it's hard for anybody else to tell. You're still chatting. I would assume.
Except she hasn't been chatty this whole
Oh,
time.
that's why she's quiet. Oh, so she gets quiet when she gets drunk. Okay, fair enough.
No, she's actually like, well, maybe her mind's a little off, but since the whole like intense conversation, she's been very like sober, like
Ooh.
serious.
Ooh, I like that. I like
Which
that.
is why she threw back that no, they're my toys now.
Ooh. Ooh, you're a slithery snake. Snapping.
I mean, when it comes down to it, she is a Starfleet officer.
That's what I'm saying. She is. I love the deliberation I'm seeing in C4A. Like she's like weighing her options. This is what it's all about, guys.
So
making choices.
So with challenging a value, just to put it into context, if you have a value that in this situation that we're in right now would impact the task negatively, that's the value that you challenge. So as I'm looking, and this is just me, I see do some harm and take no shit, which could be challenged in this situation and replaced with a more benign doctor one, like say do no harm. But that's entirely up to you. It's only a Q.
We just let her die.
And I'm coming up on my hard cap for quitting time as well. So
we're gonna be there in a second. Just hold your
oh,
horses.
I know.
We got you. We're getting close.
While
Gesundheit.
Seaforay is deciding a response, what did Q say to
You
Tequila?
could have, like, why did you turn it down? You could have been a god.
And for a quick moment, she's not serious. And she's like, I actually didn't answer. But back to serious. Why would I want to be a god when I don't want to? Like, I have goals in life, but I am happy where I am now.
And as she is dying
Yeah.
on the
Let her
sand,
go.
she's dying on the sand. He looks up and smiles at Keela and simply says, and that is what I admire about you mortals. And as that happens, she...
That is not dead, which can eternal lie. And with strange eons, even death may die.
And she fades to, like, that weird kind of starlight firefly stuff you've seen. And it kind of drifts up into the sky. And you watch as the beam light, like the little ring around the beam of light, starts to, like, untach itself. And the beam of light starts to kind of, like, wobble. And then the beam of light actually starts to pull back. And as it pulls back, you guys watch up in the sky as all of these rings start to collide together and to reform a massive space station, which, if you guys think back onto Chrono Station, you see Chrono Station up in the sky. Simultaneously, there is this crazy, like, rumbling and, like, the whooshing of water, and you watch as literal mountains start to rise up out of the oceans, as if the planet was, like, getting, like, shrunken like a raisin and is now being rehydrated, right? Which is strange for an ocean planet, but, like, the planet is, like, building back up very quickly. There's rumbling, there's some water, but, like, the floating islands are getting lifted up. You guys are kind of, like, rocking around, and this all takes place over the course of, like, 60 seconds.
Right.
And
I'm not watching any of this. there's sand and blood on my hands,
Oh, yeah.
starting to compartmentalize like another failure.
It's rough. You were a badass. Only, Lieutenant Phelan had been quicker. I'm just kidding. That's terrible. But, you watch as the station forms up in the sky. Does a little kind of spin for a few seconds. And then phases away. Phases away. Just gone. And all readings of the planet, stable.
Levels?
Radiation's gone. And the Noomfell are, like, wandering around like, what the fuck just happened? What's going on? Are we free? Did we get reborn? Did it work? Like, what's happening? And, you know what? I'm going to be that guy at the party. We're going to leave this right there. That's where we're going to leave it. That feels right. I feel like we leave the crew and the audience sort of with just this, not necessarily empty feeling, but with this, you guys can make your own decisions. We're not going to give you that catharsis afterwards. We'll talk about it next session. This is something you guys will probably deal with for a long time to come. But Ensign Keela, you were offered godhood, and you turned it down. And I want you to remember, when the crew of the Erebus is in a really bad spot, you could have saved them. But you said no. All right.
Oh,
He
You can
didn't
say
say no.
No, he didn't say yes, which is also a no. But
He also didn't tell her.
as no, she didn't. She was very vague. Because she's a Q. But anyway, is that the end of the Daughter of Q? We don't know. It might be. Could be. I'm not sure. We'll find out. We left it intentionally vague. But I appreciate you being here, Ensign Keela. I modified this episode slightly from what I had originally intended because you were going to be here, and I wanted to give a quick little shout back to the Boudica. And
If
Star
you
Trek
don't
Magnolia.
mind,
Yeah, sure.
I wanted to add like just a single line.
Go for it.
Keela's looking up at this like
Credits
ship coming
roll.
back together.
After
and then-
credits, quick scene of her on the beach. Go.
I didn't think I'd see that ship again.
Oh, bum bum bum. Executive producer Gene Roddenberry. That's good.
There we go.
Yeah, that's funny.
Good
But
long
anyway,
memory of.
as I always say at the end of every session, thank you so much to the players for playing. Truly, without you guys, this is impossible. I've had a lot of fun with this session. I was really glad to see Lieutenant Phelan and Lieutenant Commander Stern do some badass shit today. Thank you so much, Ensign Keela, Adrillian, for being here today with us. You were a delightful goober, and it was a lot of fun to hang out and game with you again. We should hopefully have you back at some point in the future. Maybe as Keela, maybe as someone else, but Keela is now an official member of the crew. She is in the list, and that is where she will stay. But as I always say as well, any final thoughts, questions, comments, or concerns from the players before we get ready to wrap up today's session?
Game, guys.
Good
yeah,
game.
Good game.
Lots of fun. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to the viewers for viewing. If you're watching this on YouTube, we appreciate you. And until next time, be well, be safe, happy gaming. And remember, the dice have a story to tell. And as it is every week, usually, it's F you, dear wolf. But tonight, I got my comeuppance. My Kartoffelkopf, as it were. Thank you, and good night.